Sexy, so I'm like American princess. I'm probably posted in the crib.
The lighting and everything just went down. I was just in my mood, and now I don't know. But anyways, what is up, you guys? It is your girl, and I am back with another video for you guys. I haven't really done sit down talking videos on my channel, and I think I'm kind of in that era where I want to sit down chat with you guys on my channel. But I've been learning a lot lately, and I was just like, honestly, why not implement some of the things that I'm learning onto my channel? So I know that typically you guys are seeing vlogs and get ready with me's and makeup and hair stuff, but we're gonna learn a little 1-2 today, because I learned something and I was just like, you know what, might as well tell the girlies what I learned and also give them a few cheat codes that I was given, because if it was given for me, though I paid a price for it, I do feel like the knowledge should be shared. You know what I mean? I think that we're so many people who are trying to be a little bit more consistent on social media, so why not help everybody else the same way that I was helped? Long story short, I attended the New Money New Year tour. The New Year New Money tour by Jalen, as in Lick My Fashion, and his partner. Like, I genuinely felt like, okay, when I saw the post for this, I was like, I want to go, because I know Jalen on social media, on TikTok, and he does his thing. Whenever I see him on live, I always tune in because I'm just curious to know, what is he gonna say, what is he gonna share? If you know Jalen, you know that he's really big in fashion, and now he kind of does like teaching social media, since he's been a lot more successful now than he has been when he first started. Obviously, he's really focusing his time on teaching other people the game. So if you ever get a chance to tune into Jalen's lives, please do, because I always learn a 1-2, and I'm always mind blown at the fact that he gives game. Like, he doesn't gatekeep, and I love that. I love a person who does not gatekeep.
I realized I cannot compare myself to the Rihannas of the world, the Kim Kardashians of the world, because as rich and famous as they are, they brought money. I didn't realize that. Like, remember when Kanye said, you ain't got the answer, Sway? Because Sway said, well, can't you just use your own money? And he said, you don't understand how business works, right? So I realized I need funding for my business. So when I was in California, I said, okay, let me figure out how to go about getting funding at the library. Funding.
I think it's time to go.
Diss apps, like they hated apps. Your followers notice that. If they see that you hate something and all of a sudden you're promoting it, they're like, yeah, we no longer trust you, because the trust value is not there, right? The trust factor is not there. So I just want you guys to be trusted, right? I want people to look at you guys as authentic, right? And when you guys are promoting something, just promote it like you're promoting it to your homegirls or your home guys.
Somebody, what about my body? What about my body? Rather from the body, somewhere
My interest for the tour was because Lick My Fashion was somebody that I grew up watching. Though I've kind of shifted towards a vlogging girl, and I kind of love my makeup and everything, I still remember the value that he brought to social media. The fact that he had this tour, especially in Atlanta, being that I am in Atlanta, I was like, you know what? This would be great to gain some knowledge and to gain some insight on the game, because I want to be consistent on social media and I want to hit my social media goals. So why not learn from literally the best? So this New Year New Money tour was a combination of basically teaching social media game, like what you need to know, the go-to tips, advice, and having the ability to ask questions. It was basically part social media, part business, which I feel like is absolutely amazing, because though I am not a business owner, I do want to one day be a business owner. However, right now my interest is very much so social media, very much so I want to put my face out there. I had the opportunity to speak with Jalen. I had the opportunity to gain so much knowledge from him and his partner. So I genuinely felt like, damn, like this is actually really good game to share. So basically that, why not share? I'm gonna start off with a little background. Jalen gave us a background of how he kind of started social media. And I will say right now, disclaimer, most of the stuff that I will be sharing with you guys will mostly be social media focused. Though I also took notes for the business side, I was more so interested in social media for this season of my life, but I did take notes for the business side, and I will share that later on. However, it is not as in-depth as the social media, because social media is what I need right now, okay? But long story short, Jalen gave us the background. He's been doing social media, I believe, for over 10 years now, and he kind of just started doing fashion videos online. He ended up, I think within his first 3 months, ended up getting a deal with I forget the name of the brand, but he got a brand deal basically, and that kind of like sparked his thing and kind of made him feel like, okay, cool, so like I can get this brand's attention, like I should keep doing this. And he kept making fashion content and doing that for years, and it got to a point where I guess people were interested in knowing how he was doing it, so he would hop on live. And then it got to a point where people were asking so many questions, so then he made a product. And then it got to a point where people still wanted more information, so now his main bread and butter is teaching people the social media game. I thought that was very interesting, knowing where Jalen came from. Back then, I think when I first started watching him, I might have been around 14, 15 years old. And I remember that he was like the biggest thing walking in Canada. Like he was big poppin'. Like he used to put fits on, and he used to teach people how to dress for occasions. And he was really big on hats and glasses. That I remember a lot. Very colorful outfits, not afraid of putting things together, patterns, all that things. Like if you know Jalen from back then, you know that he was Mr. Put It On. There was even a time where when I was much younger, my church actually had a fashion show, and they actually got Jalen to host the fashion show and basically teach people how to dress and how to do, you know, like how to be appropriate for certain occasions and all of that stuff. So that's where I had initially met Jalen. Now, let's get into the nitty gritty. There was so much information given that I'm gonna do my very best to kind of show you guys what stood out to me and what I felt was valuable to give. One of the first things that Jalen spoke about was basically he addressed how to make money on live. When it comes to making money on live or making content while you're live, one of the main things that he said is that you need to combine creativity with conversation. You can't kind of come on lives like trying to sell people, being salesy and all that stuff. You have to basically create conversation in a very creative way. Most people don't want to buy stuff when they're going on social media. It just so happens that they fall on something that is interesting, and then they're like, all right, cool, I might could buy this. You don't want to ever get on live saying that need to buy this, click the link in my bio, da 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 da. He kind of broke it down in a way that when you do sell things on live, you kind of have to incorporate it in a way that's conversational and creative. And secondly, he said your biggest thing is that you need to have a call out, or like you're teaching something, like somebody has to feel like they need whatever it is that you are talking about, or whatever it is that you are using. You need to find a way to make people feel like they need that. And the way that he demonstrated was really like, just make it like conversational, make it natural, don't be salesy. I used this as an example, and I was just like, all right, cool. If it was for me, you guys know that I'm a beauty girl, I'm a makeup girl, I am a hair girl, I'm a fashion girl. If I was to do a video on live, or maybe not even on live, because I feel like this could apply to both, and I'm trying to sell a product, I can literally be like, for example, this product, for example, a hairbrush, okay? Plain hairbrush. But I could be like, this hairbrush absolutely changed my hair game. Or I could be like, my makeup has never looked the same after I used this one product. Boom, that's the hook right there. So he was kind of saying like, you need to find a way to wheel people in, but don't be too like, I'm trying to sell you something. Even if that's on your mind, you can't make them know that that's basically what you're trying to do. You know, even if they might know, it's like you don't want to shove it down their throat. Second thing that he spoke about that I was just like, period, because I feel like I'm still in a space where it's kind of just like, oh, like I want like everybody's attention. I want everybody to be watching my stuff. I want everybody to be engaging with my page. I want everybody to be engaging with whatever. But at the same time, he was kind of just like, you need to have a demographic. You're not supposed to be catering to everybody. Like if you do, all right, cool, that's a bonus. But you need to have a specific people that you are catering to. So if you're a beauty girl, don't be expecting a gamer to come and socialize with you or engage with your content. If you're a cooking girl, don't be expecting a construction person to be engaging with your content. If they do and so happen to, all right, cool, but know your lane, know your niche, and cater to those people. Make content for those people. Like make content for that niche. You know what I mean? Like you're not making content for everybody. You're doing what you like to do, and you're catering to people who like what you do as well. He also said that when you're starting on social media and you're sharing things, be open to learn as you go. From what I understand from what he was saying, is kind of like a lot of people feel like they need to know everything, and that stops them from being consistent. It stops them from producing content. It stops them from trying, because they're just like, damn, like I'm starting out and I don't know XYZ. XYZ, but this person over there, they sound and they look like they know everything. Like, that's not the case. Do not compare yourself to everybody, and know that you do not need to know every single thing when you're starting out. And I feel like that's a beautiful thing, because it's more organic, it's more authentic for you to learn as you go and learn with your audience as well. If there's something that you know, obviously it's your niche. So there's things that you're gonna know and there's things that you're not gonna know. But I think that you even learning things as you go is just, it makes you more real and more relatable. It is absolutely okay for you to not know everything when you start. Just start. Like, that's just it. Just start. Number 3, he said you need to be firm and you need to be confident, which is, for me personally, I feel like I'm a pro at fake it till you make it at this point, because I think people assume that I'm so absolutely confident when I come online and all these things. I'm not the most confident. I really just fake it till I make it, and I just hope for the best, honestly, truly. But he said when you're coming into the social media world, you gotta be confident. You gotta be firm with what you're saying. If you're selling a product, be firm in that product. If you are wanting people to engage with something or try something, be firm with what you say. Like, have confidence, because that's what's gonna allow you to not only slay what you're doing, but to also have people to trust you. You know what I mean? Like, people don't trust somebody that doesn't even have confidence in themselves. They're gonna look at you like, I don't know about that one. But if you want people to trust you and you want to build your community, you have to build that confidence in yourself. Especially, you don't want it to be a case where you're gaining your confidence based off of people's reaction. Like, I think that's the biggest thing with social media. It's very easy for you to be like, your confidence or your success is based off of others' reaction, but you genuinely do not want that. You want it to be a case where it's kind of like, you don't need that. Like, you have the confidence in yourself and people can trust you for that. When it comes to brand deals, this really caught my attention. It really made me feel like, okay, now you are talking, cause basically he said that when you're gonna be starting out and doing brand deals, brands are not gonna be the most on your side. They will see the value in you and not want to pay the value that you have and expect you to be okay with that. What he said was that you don't have to sell your soul. Like, you don't have to sell yourself and slave for pennies. Like, you don't have to do that. The reason why brands feel so confident to do that is because other people are accepting it. But if you are confident in yourself, you're confident in what you're producing, you're confident in what you're doing, then you honestly do not have to fall for every bait or do not have to fall for every single offer that comes. However, if it does come to a point where you're kind of like, I might could use this for experience, or I might could have this for my portfolio, or whatever it is, or if you just simply do want to do the brand deal but you don't want to do it at the price, never lower the price, or don't leave money on the table. His way was kind of reduce what they're asking, but do not reduce the price. Do not leave money on the table. So if they're asking you, hey, like, can you make me 50 videos on TikTok for $900? 50 videos on TikTok for $900 is a lot of work for a very little bit of money. So his approach was like, instead of doing that, you can let them know, hey, I could do 3 videos on TikTok for $900. And at that point, you could either negotiate, they might negotiate with you, they might whatever, but at least that money is secured. Like, at least that money is going to be yours, because $900 is still a lot of money, but not for 50 videos. You know what I mean? Like, I might could do a 900, but not for 50. Like, I might could do a 900 for a 3-2 video, maybe a 3-4 if I'm feeling fancy. But he was basically saying, like, your language and how you accept things matters. So don't think that damn or feel offended or disrespected because they're out here trying to lowball you. You know that they're trying to lowball you, so you play smart. Approach it in a way that still benefits you and them without necessarily having to slave yourself. Number 4. Now, this is something that I feel like most people are afraid to do. And they think that not doing this is doing them justice. Like, it's making things better for them, for their brand, for whatever it is. But Jalen said, overshare, overshare, overshare. No matter how much information that you give somebody, they will still buy your product. They will still engage with your page. They will still come back to you. Like, they will still come back to you. A lot of people are inclined to gatekeep and be like, okay, if you want X amount of information, I sell this product, go get this product, or if you want X amount of information, go look at this that I posted on my page. And you give people work to get what it is that they're asking for, because you're afraid that if you don't do that, then you're not gonna make any money. He literally said, no matter how much information he sells online, people still go and buy his product, and he is giving the same information. It is not stopping people from engaging with his page. It is not stopping people from coming back to him. It is not stopping people from purchasing from him because of his transparency. Gatekeeping is kind of pointless, especially in this day and age, because if you're not going to give them the information, somebody else will, for one. And for two, we live in the AI world. So if you're not going to give them the information that they're looking for, ChatGPT will tell them, Claude will tell them, Gemini will tell them. You know what I mean? So just don't gatekeep. And honestly, truly, I kind of like that, because I used to genuinely be somebody that would gatekeep. And then I was just like, why the frig am I gatekeeping? Like, it's actually never that deep. Like, it's not that deep. People ask me all the time, what do you use to edit? I tell them I use CapCut. Like, I tell them, like, I use X, Y, and Z. My camera is this, and that. They will ask me, should I get this camera? Should I whatever? I tell them straight up. I am so honest with things, because at the end of the day, it does not take from me. Like, me giving you the information does not take away my quality, my value, and what I am working towards just because I helped you. And I think that the sooner that we can get out of that mindset, the sooner that we will make more money, the sooner that we will have the results that we're actually looking for, because we're not living in like a scarcity state. Like, we're not living in like a position of lack. You know what I mean? Somebody needs help, just help them. This next one was more digital product oriented. He kind of spoke about when you're doing digital products online, you need to have a transition period or a transition moment inside of your life where you are allowing people to basically get the information without necessarily telling them that you're selling them the product. So like, find ways to tell people that they can find your product on your page or in your bio. On live as well, you can sometimes have people type in certain things, and I guess it'll send them a link to their DM and they'll be able to purchase certain things. You need to have some kind of transition that allows people to move from information to purchase. Don't only sell products that you're basically selling at cost. Give people freebies in order for them to also get a taste of what it is that you can offer. It gives them an opportunity to see your value and see why they should purchase the actual products that you are selling for a cost. And he said that in order to do that transition, you need to have some kind of moment where you are transitioning in there. Let them know that you have a lead magnet and that it's for free. Let them know that you have a freebie for them in some kind of way. People love free. So free is great because it keeps them coming back. It keeps them hooked. When creating digital products, he mentioned not to be afraid of low ticket products. A lot of the times people feel like, damn, like if my product is not like a big value or like cost a lot, people are gonna think that it's not valuable. They're gonna think that it's cheap. They're gonna think that there's no point of purchasing it. But he was just like, no, like he has made thousands of dollars off of low ticket sales or low ticket products. So he was basically encouraging people make low ticket products. And low ticket products, he said, was anywhere under, I think under $20 or $19, and between about $19 to I think $60 something. For me personally, I feel like $60 something is a high ticket sale, but maybe that's me just being not part of this like world, you know, I'm just stepping into it. So for me, a low ticket sale is under $20, but you telling me that a low ticket is under $69, I might can make a product that's worth $50. I might can make a product that's worth a little bit more. And then he also says that you have the freedom to do anything. Like you can change the prices of your products at any time that you want. It could be $59 today, and maybe you're on live and for 20 minutes, you're like, hey, if you use this code, you'll get it for $19. Or hey, for the next 10 minutes, this product is gonna be $5.99. Like you can change what your product price is at any given moment and use that to your advantage. Get people to get the sale prices, get people to purchase at a lower rate. You want to have the most people getting your stuff, so don't be so pressed about it staying at a high number because you think that that's what's going to make you money. Like no, multiple people getting a lower price of your item will sometimes do you more good than selling a one ticket product, a one high ticket product. When it comes to lies, he did talk about creating an engagement. So basically welcoming your audience, ask them to engage, you know, tap the screen, comment something, like just be engaging. That way you can get the momentum going, speak to your audience, be relatable to your audience. In essence, just welcoming them is like the biggest thing. You want them to feel like, okay, I want to hear what this guy has to say. Or why is he welcoming me? Let me be here. Maybe I could stay a little bit. Another thing that him and his partner stressed was do not feel like someone else is better than you. A lot of people feel like they are not qualified for certain things because they're literally like taking their now and comparing it to somebody's like level 30 and you're at a level 3. You know what I mean? Just because someone else is doing well on social media doesn't mean that they're actually doing well, or looks like they're getting a lot of brand deals. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're doing a lot better than you or that you're less valuable because you're not getting brand deals. You never know what could happen, especially when you're consistent. So don't envy, don't be afraid. Like, you are just as qualified as the next person, if not more. Like, you know, so that was one thing that I really took to heart, because it's like, it's very easy for you to be like, damn, like this person has more experience than me, like they will for sure have more opportunity than me, like this brand will for sure accept their application over mine. Or it's very, very easy to downplay yourself, especially when you're coming into something new. Give yourself a chance. Don't think that you cannot gain the same benefits as someone else. You are you still carry value no matter what, and you are more than capable of also getting brand deals, also being, you know, seen on somebody's screen, of also having all these opportunities. And the partner, actually, I'm gonna get her name. I think her name is Trishonna, if I'm not mistaken. But basically, she gave an example, and she said that she's been in the game longer than Jalen, and Jalen has solidified larger deals than she has ever. That is actually a very great reminder that it's not because somebody has been in the game longer than you that you can't be just as qualified or more. So she gave that example to kind of encourage people to say like, hey, like I've been in the game longer, but I can't do what he does because he's Jalen. You know what I mean? Like, I've been in the game longer, but there's some things that I was never able to reach, but Jalen was able to reach. So she gave that to let us know that like, hey, you might be starting in the game, but don't think that because it took somebody X amount of years to get to their level that it'll also take you yours. And that, to me, I took it personal as well, because I'm just like, no, period, for real. Because one of my biggest prayers that I pray all the time is, Lord, break protocol over me. I never want it to be a case that, oh, this person, it took them 5 years to get to this goal. I believe and I have faith that the Lord has his hand on me. I have faith that I have favor, and I have faith that whatever I touch and whatever I do, because it is me, it will be well. Because it is me, it will be expedited. Because it is me, it will take a fraction of the time that it took that person, because it is me. You know what I mean? So you need to have that mindset and know that, okay, like just because it took this person X amount of time doesn't mean that I'm gonna have to struggle for X amount of time. Doesn't mean that I'm gonna have to go through whatever battles they went through. Doesn't mean that I'm gonna have to, like, no, you do not have to associate yourself with whatever somebody else went through. You may not have been in the game for long enough. Does not mean that you are not qualified for this role, or qualified for certain deals, or qualified for certain opportunities. You are very much qualified and can very much get all of these things that that person has gotten as well, if not more. So it's all about you. Be authentic, be yourself, and you will see the things that come for you or come to you because of that. The last thing that Jalen said was, do not be afraid to pivot, because literally your breakthrough is in the pivot. Your breakthrough is in the shift. Your breakthrough is in the, I'm not doing this anymore, I'm gonna try this. That is where your breakthrough lies. But if you never take the risk, you never try something different, you will stay stagnant. You will stay exactly where you have been this whole time. And if you're trying to see better for yourself and you're trying to do new things and do more, you're going to have to do things that you've never done before in order for you to see results that you've never seen before. So do not be afraid to pivot. Literally pivot. Literally take the risk. AKA, you could do this, just do it. This is so many things that have gone on. That's kind of how the conference started. Asked us basically to jot down 3 brands that we absolutely want to work with. He basically gave us tips on how to make sure that you get those brands' attention. Number one, first and foremost, he said that the brand needs to know and see that you are using their product. If you have certain products of brands that you are trying to work with, don't be afraid to make content for them. Don't think that, okay, if I make content for them and it gets X amount of views, then they're not going to want to use it because you already gave them the content for free, Don't think that way. Like, that is not facts. If you want to be seen by a brand, you kind of have to call out a brand. You have to make sure that that brand sees your content, which means tag the brand, use the product, showcase the product so that the brand knows, okay, this person uses our brand and we didn't even get her into it. Oh, she genuinely likes what we have. Like, she genuinely likes this product. Like, we might could work with her. That's how you can get a brand's attention. Even if they don't come to you first, you go to them if that's the brand that you really want to be with, you really want to work with. He also said that you need to prove to the brand that you have value. When they see your page or when they come to your page after you tag them or whatever, they need to see value in your content. You need to prove to them why they should work with you, even if you provided them free content. He also stressed using stories and said that stories are one of the biggest ways to get a brand's attention, because when you make a story and you tag them, it goes directly to their DM. They literally have somebody that checks DMs and checks social media in order to see the next, the new, the whatever they may need. So just tag the brand and utilize your stories. He went back and stressed about not being salesy. He said to provide a solution all the time. Sell it in a way where people feel like they need the product, not them feeling like you're trying to sell them or make them buy something, essentially. Have a proper sentence that can lead them in. Like, you know, like the example I gave earlier, my makeup has completely changed after using this project. That's a hook. You've got them in, you've got them feeling like, okay, why did your makeup completely change and what can I do to make mine different? So you need to think about it from that perspective. You never want to be salesy on social media. Talk about your product like you're talking to your homegirl. Don't sell it in a way like you're trying to sell the thing. Almost want to sell it in a way that makes that there's comfort and familiarity there. You want it to feel like, I'm not trying to sell you something, but you might could buy this. Last but not least, Jalen stressed having a media kit. He said it don't matter how many followers you have because UGC creators exist. I think it stands for user generated content, if I'm not mistaken. But UGC creators are literally micro influencers. They are influencers that do not have the thousands of followers. Basically, the media kit should consist of your social media. It should be like your social media resume. So it has your analytics, your name, your niche, and your pricing. The pricing that you put on your media kit should always be 10% of the followers that you have. If your followers are fairly low, then combine all of your followers on all of your platforms and make it 10% of that. Jalen was so kind to give us websites to help people basically put their foot in when it comes to becoming an influencer or a paid content creator. And he gave us 6 websites, and I'm gonna give you guys all 6 websites that he gave. Here are the websites that Jalen said that we should use in order to start making money without necessarily needing all of the followers. The first website that he gave was trend.io. You do need a media kit for all the websites that I will be giving, so just so you know, make sure that you do actually work on your media kit. The second website that he gave was Kohly, which is COHLEY.com. He said that this was a great brand deal distributor. Like, they have great brand deals on that website. The next one he said was obvious.ly, so obviously but like dot before the ly. And he said that this one, they have agents that give you brand deals. So this one specifically has somebody allocated, like an actual person on the other side that will give you a brand deal rather than you just applying for a brand deal. The next one he said was joinbrands.com. So JOIN brands.com. And this one is mainly for TikTok shop and those kind of brand deals. Next one was hashtagpaid.com. They have basically money deals daily. So he did stress about checking that page out. Apparently they're very good for brand deals as well. And then the last one was GetKale, so GETKALE.com. And that is another brand distributor. So basically he was just encouraging us to make an account on these platforms, have your media kit ready when you apply, and honestly just start making content for them and you will get paid. So That was Jalen's portion of the conference. I felt like it was so like great and well spoken. Honestly, truly, I think that I gained so much information from the social media part. I really was just like, damn, like I feel so motivated to make content now. I feel so motivated to get back in the game. I feel so motivated to just get that money. So, you know, I'm in a space where it's like I really want to do whatever it takes to make sure that I can transform my life and get it to the place that I see myself being. So yeah, that was that. All right, so we spoke about the social media side, which was hosted by Jalen. Now I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit about the business side, which was hosted by Trishonna. Now, I did not take the most notes when it came to Trishonna, only because I'm not in that business realm. However, I did take notes still. The main thing is that she said that there is money out there for your business. There's a lot of ways for you to get funding for your business, which is the main topic of her segment was funding. She basically spoke about being open to going to private lenders rather than like the bank. Private lenders are more likely to lend you some money than a bank would sometimes. And she said that you need to have a minimum criteria. So she spoke about credit score. She also said that you need to have a good business plan. She's seen some business plans that were just a few pages and she was just like, this is not it. For you to have a lender trust you and have faith in your business plan should be anywhere between 20 to 30 pages. That is when they're going to take you seriously. Anything less than that, they might not take you serious. They might could leave you. It might could be like, I don't want to work with this person. Like, they just want the money. So if you really want it to be for the purpose of your brand and growing it and gaining things out of it, make sure that you have a proper business plan. She also stressed about making more money than you owe. If you're trying to borrow 5 figures, you should be able to make 6 figures. If that's not the case, then don't take the money. Then the second part that she spoke about was when you're speaking to investors and what you should be speaking about and what you should ask. The first key point should be mentioning your goals for one and what it is for. Essentially, why do you need the investment? Like, why do you need the fund? What do you need the coin? She also said to let them know how much you expect your project to make in year 1, year 2, and year 3. And she specified being clear about that in years or in phases so that they have an idea of how successful your business will be. She also said to never, ever, ever ask for the maximum. She said never ask for the maximum. Let's say an investor is looking to give somebody $250,000. Do not go up in there pitching your business and asking for $250,000. She basically said if their maximum is $250,000, you should be asking for anywhere around $50,000. You never want to be asking for the maximum or too much money because I guess it doesn't give genuine. You kind of want to be serious and know your limits as well, and you want to show the lender that you are a good steward of your money, that though you know that they have $250K to give, that you're only going to take what you absolutely need. When you are asking for the funds, never be like, I need about $70,000, I need about $80,000. Literally be like, I need $70,000 to make this project come to life. Do not doubt yourself. Do not second guess yourself. Say exactly what you mean. Have that confidence, because you having confidence in yourself will have them have confidence in you as well. She also mentioned to state what your business would need in order to reach your goal. Outside of funds, outside of the money, what else would you need? Is that equipment? Is that staff? Is that whatever it is that you would need? She says to specify that to the lender, because some lenders will actually provide you with what it is that you need outside of funds. And then lastly, she spoke about always asking questions at the end. Always, always, always. This is something that I would not have known. I would have just been like, all right, it's not an interview, but kind of sort of is an interview, because you need to be approved by them in order for you to get to exactly where you want to be. So treat it as such. Treat it as with seriousness. Treat it as you would an interview, because they're either going to accept you or not. A great question to ask is, what are the next steps, or what should you expect next? A lot of the times, the person you are speaking to is not the actual lender. It is the person that will submit this request to the actual lender. For that reason, go all out that much more. Be as detailed as possible. Ask all the questions that you need because they will literally vouch for you if you prepare them properly. And then yeah, after that, the conference kind of just wrapped up. They both kind of gave extra advice and just like reminders when it comes to social media world and the business world. She mentioned that when it comes to business, do not be discouraged if you're being denied or disqualified. People will try to disqualify you because you're starting out, because of who you are, because you don't have XYZ. For whatever reasons, like, don't be afraid of a no. Don't be afraid of them disqualifying you, or don't be afraid of them just rejecting you in general. It does not mean that you cannot make whatever it is that you want happen. It doesn't mean that it's impossible. It's just a no. It's not an end all be all. So expect it, basically. She also said, try to see that if you can get funding for everything. Like, there is always a way. Not necessarily go to the same lender for all of your needs, but you could get money or equipment from this place. You can get staff from this place. You can get whatever. Like, see if you can get funding for everything. Like, she said, don't take no for an answer. So if somebody says no, find a way to basically reroute them to saying yes, or maybe a not now. You know what I mean? Work for it, push for it, be determined, be persistent. Like, if you want it, go get it. Don't take no for an answer. Actually push for it. She reiterated that nobody is better than you. Certain people are just more willing than you are, and that's a fact. That kind of hits my core because I feel like I'm in that space where I sometimes believe that I'm not qualified because someone else has more over me, whether that be experience, whether it be resources, whether it be whatever it is. But in essence, it's like nobody actually is better than you. Nobody can do it like you. For that reason, like, you should also be just as willing and just as bold as them because you are just as qualified. You're just not putting yourself in that mindset. So that was a really great reminder for myself. Last but not least, she said that personality goes a long way. Use your personality to your advantage. It will soften certain situations up. It will allow you to go through doors that maybe you would have not have gone through without a personality. You know, use your words and be able, like, to communicate. You know, things may not go your way. She gave examples about how there was times where she didn't really have the funds to be able to pay her portion of the payment for the lenders, but her personality literally kept it afloat. Like, her personality allowed her to be able to, you know, delay certain deadlines or to have a better relationship with her lender. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I may have missed. Outside of that, they basically said that consistency will pay off. Always lead with solution, never emotion. That was a big thing. They said in this content creation and business world, if you lead with emotion, you will not go far. I've been really learning a lot in this season, a lot in this week alone. And I'm just like, not only do I want to apply, I also want to share what it is that I've been learning with other people. I'm not a gatekeeper. You know, like, I genuinely just want to help people as I am helping myself and as I am taking myself to the next level. So yeah, that's that. I wanted to share that information, and yeah, period. So you guys let me know if you guys like this kind of video, like where I'm showing you guys things that I've learned. I will probably not make it as long moving forward, but I genuinely had learned so much and I just wanted to share it with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned a lot and took some notes. And if you do have a chance to attend the New Year New Money tour or New Money New Year tour, please do. Jalen and Trishonna did an amazing job at breaking the game down, and I feel like I genuinely left with a completely different perspective of social media and business. So yeah, like, I genuinely feel like it is valuable. They're giving a lot of game and they really genuinely want people to make money, and you can tell. That is that, and yeah, that is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if I should do more, because I've been watching a lot of stuff. Like, I go to conferences, I watch podcasts, so I can literally watch things so you don't have to. So yeah, let me know how you guys feel.